y'all. So here's an inspection that you didn't see. Basically, long story short, this top box here was on the bottom, but there was so much old brood comb and it was cross combed. I probably had between 3 and 6 frames that were just cross combed together. Again, this was one of my first cutouts that I did with my buddy Matt. I'm using a new bottom board. I put a new box on there. We have the fresh frames down here, and on the top I do have some checkerboarded empty frames with some honeycomb. So they got plenty of room. I just put a entrance reducer over the front. So that should do pretty well. But basically I'm gonna check this box here. This third box, I never do a triple deep. This third box will be pulled off. I'll melt all the old brood comb once the brood emerges. So the next one I have to do is this one. Same idea. I'm gonna put the old box on top and rifle through these hives here. But so far so good. Again, we got the new bees here that we just transferred into a larger 10 frame. And this colony here, again, this was the last tree trap out. Tuesday, I believe, is going to be the day that I'll take off the entrance excluder. But for now, these bees are doing just fine. So stay tuned, y'all. Keep on keeping on, and I'll keep on bringing you along for the ride. And this morning, we had this happen. This is a swarm that was all bearded up on the front. So I used a clear Rubbermaid tote. I shook the bees off. This was about 3 days ago. Shook the bees off in a Rubbermaid tote. I found the queen. She's in a clip, and I caged her. She's in the box. This morning I come out and there was a small little beard of bees on the back. So I took a little leaf and I kind of scooped the bees up and dumped them on the top of the box, and wouldn't you know it, we have a queen inside of this little clip. You'll see the bees are tending to her. So what I need to do today is I need to make a split. I'll go ahead and take a couple frames of brood out from another colony, and I'll toss it into another nuke. But this queen looks like she still may need to go out and mate, so I don't want to keep her caged in too long. So I'll see if I can make a split out of it. So just something to keep you guys entertained. I thought that was pretty neat. Wherever there's a little group of bees, again, they will usually, maybe that was a cast swarm. It could have been 2 queens in that swarm initially, and I just never found the second one. So they kind of divided and hanging out with her. So I'll get a new box and see what happens. All right, folks, so what I just did here is I took that older brood box with the older comb in the brood. So there's a bunch of frames that I had some patches of older capped brood. It was more than a 5-frame box could hold, so for now I just left them in this 10 frame. I put the queen that's in the cage in the center of the couple frames, and I put an entrance excluder or an entrance reducer over. So I'll leave that in there for maybe a day, and then I'll come out and I'll take the little piece of tape off of the cage to see if the queen will come out and emerge. And then she'll either leave or she'll stay. So we'll see what goes on. There seems to be an okay population of bees. I'd like to have it be more, but I'm going to have to wait so I can shake some nurse bees. So that's a setup. Again, we got some bees between the frames. Probably all together, if I had to guess, there's probably about 4, maybe 5 full frames or full seams of bees in here. So that's all right for now. I just want to see if this queen will survive and then acclimate and continue to thrive here. So stay tuned. Then I'll come back out here eventually and I'll put a new box. I gotta put them together still. So it's going. Always a challenge out here trying to keep up on these silly bees. I just did some inspections this morning. That colony is good to go. This colony up here, these two mediums are still partially frames of medium-sized frames, so I got to determine what to do with that. I might basically use it for feed for some of the other colonies. I still have not checked this one. This was the last colony that we brought over. This colony's kicking ass. That colony's kicking ass. Of course, this new colony up here is kicking ass. So far, so good. Wow, folks, so check this out. This is the biggest frog I've seen inside of a water meter box. I think the water meter box, the cover was left off, and a huge toad just found its way in. So check this out. Alright, so this is how the water meter was when I arrived. Basically, they took the thing off, and then they saw the bees, and then they dropped everything and ran. But we got a visitor in there. Check this guy out. Look at the size of him. He is huge. We got slugs on the brood comb. I doubt that there's a queen in here. This comb doesn't look that good. Yeah. So just thought that was neat. I'll keep on keeping at these. This queen survived the biggest frog of all. Can you see her in there? Big old fat queen. This water meter had not even a frame of comb. She was laying really nice tight brood patterns though. So I'll get her secured in the frame and then I'll get the rest of the bees out. Okay folks, so this meter, we'll see how it does. We got plenty of population. We'll let them acclimate to the box. You may have seen I have the queen in the clip. And we got a very little bit of brood. So these colonies could be the best. Just because a colony is small does not mean that they're inferior. Just because they're, you know, you only see a handful of bees, it doesn't mean that the colony is no good. At least in my region. Again, everybody keeps bees in a different area, so I could understand if you're up north and you got a really small tiny pocket swarm, it might not be, you know, quote unquote worth it to you to keep. But down here, again, the name of the game for me is to bee rescue. I like to rescue bees live and relocate them and give them the best chance, and hopefully keep them contained and manage them correctly to prevent them from swarming. And I'm happy to help out you know, the public down here, because a lot of people get afraid of bees and they would rather just spray kill them, you know, soak them down with water and soap and just get rid of them. So anywho, I hope you like that one, and stay tuned, I got some more coming.